Chapter 11. Escape from the Island. Only 8 days after they left, while I was sleeping, Friday hurried to me. "Master, they are back!" I felt strange, and I did not believe that they could be back so soon. We got to a high place and looked. There was a great ship in the sea, and a small boat was sailing to the shore. There were 11 men in the boat, and 3 were tied. I knew that they were not guests I was waiting for. I could see that the ship was English, and so was the boat. Since English ships never came here, I thought that they might be pirates. So we got all our guns ready and went down to hide in the trees nearby. They got off the boat, and the 9 sailors pushed and hit the 3 prisoners. Soon, some of the sailors walked along the beach, and some sat down to rest. The 3 prisoners looked very sad, and they walked towards us and sat down under a tree. It seemed that the sailors did not care if the prisoners ran away. I moved quietly to them and said in a low voice behind them, "Hello, sir. Don't be afraid. I am your friend, here to help you." They turned and saw me, but they were too surprised to speak at once. Perhaps my strange clothes, made of animal skin, my long hair and beard terrified them. I then told them my story very briefly and said that I was willing to help them. Then the oldest man was moved to tears and began to speak in a low voice. He was the captain of the ship, and the other 2 were his first and second mates. A mutiny had happened the night before, and the seamen had taken the ship. They were going to leave the 3 on the island to die. Now they were ready to get the ship back with my help. The seamen had only 2 guns, and they had left them in the boat. I gave them each a gun. The captain told us who we should shoot with the first round. Then we launched an attack on the seamen and killed 4 of them, including their leader. The other 5 seamen gave up and asked us not to kill them. The captain knew that they did not really want to be mutineers, but they were afraid of the leader. They were willing to help the captain to take the ship back. Just then, we saw a boat sailing from the ship to the shore. We all ran into the woods and waited for them. There were 10 seamen on the boat. They came to look for the 9 seamen. They all had guns. We avoided a fight at first to wait for the night, which was helpful to us. When it was dark, we began to attack them, but they did not know where we were. They did not know how many men they were fighting. Then the first mate shouted to them that we had 50 men around them. He asked them to put down their weapons and stop fighting. The seamen surrendered, and we took their guns. The captain agreed to 3 men's request to come back to him, and we tied the others in a cave. While Friday and I were watching the prisoners, the captain and his men sailed in the 2 boats to the ship in the darkness. They wanted to fight for the ship. The next morning, the captain was the master of his ship again. He came back to the island and cried to me, "My dear friend, the ship is yours now. You can go anywhere in the world." We decided not to kill the mutineers, but to leave them on the island. They could live a very good life with what I had left them. They would be sentenced to death according to the laws if they came back to England. Friday was willing to follow me forever. I left the island on December the 19th of 1686 by the calendar of the ship. I had stayed on it for 28 years, 2 months, and 19 days. In this ship, after a long voyage, I arrived in England on June the 11th of 1687. I had been away from the country for 35 years.